Hey everyone! We are working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy the content and it is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button right now as we proceed. Is this the under-the-radar move that finally stabilizes the most volatile part of the Blue Jays game? Or are we just recycling the American League East's leftovers and hoping for a miracle? Welcome back to the Baseball Breakdown, where we dig deeper than the headlines and uncover the stories that actually matter. Today we need to talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention in modern baseball. Depth. Not the sexy stuff like home run records or mega contracts. I'm talking about that absolutely terrifying moment in the 6th or 7th inning when your starter gets pulled and the entire fanbase collectively holds their breath wondering which bullpen arm is about to blow the game wide open. The Toronto Blue Jays front office has been busy making moves in the shadows while the rest of the league chases the big headlines and the superstar free agents. And today, we are breaking down a signing that might not sell 1 million jerseys by tomorrow morning, but could absolutely save a dozen crucial games come July when the playoff race is heating up and every single win matters. The Blue Jays have officially signed left-handed pitcher Josh Fleming to a minor league contract with an invitation to Major League spring training. Now, before you immediately scroll past this thinking it's just another meaningless depth piece that won't impact the Major League roster, let's pump the brakes and look at the much bigger picture here. We are talking about a guy who knows this division inside and out. Josh Fleming isn't some wide-eyed rookie fresh out of college ball. This is a battle-tested arm who spent 4 absolutely grueling seasons in the trenches with the Tampa Bay Rays. And we all know exactly what the Rays do better than almost any organization in baseball. They find value where absolutely no one else sees it. They turn overlooked arms that other teams have given up on into legitimate weapons. They've built an entire organizational philosophy around identifying market inefficiencies and exploiting them. Fleming was part of that machine. He debuted back in the shortened 2020 season and has logged over 250 innings at the absolute highest level of professional baseball. But here's where the conflict and the controversy come into play. His numbers are an absolute roller coaster. We're looking at a career ERA of 4.77 and a WHIP of 1.433. On paper, looking at those raw statistics, that doesn't exactly scream Cy Young candidate or even reliable middle reliever. But here's the thing about baseball that the stat nerds sometimes forget. Baseball isn't played on paper. It's not played in spreadsheets or computer simulations. It's played on the mound in specific matchups against specific batters in specific situations where context matters enormously. The Blue Jays are clearly betting that they can unlock the version of Josh Fleming that frustrates left-handed hitters and gets crucial outs in high-leverage situations, not the version that occasionally gets hit hard and gives up crooked numbers. This is a classic low-risk, high-reward gamble. But in the American League East, the most competitive division in baseball where every game against the Yankees, Red Sox, Orioles, and Rays feels like a playoff battle, these are exactly the kinds of calculated gambles that define your entire season. One reliable bullpen arm can be the difference between making the playoffs and watching October baseball from your couch. To truly understand why this signing actually matters more than the surface level suggests, we have to step into the time machine and look at the historical context of the American League East and specifically the Toronto Blue Jays' struggles to find consistent left-handed relief pitching. Think back to the seasons where the Jays had to rely on guys pitching completely out of position or overworked starters coming out of the bullpen on short rest trying to get outs they had no business getting. It's an absolute nightmare scenario that no team wants to revisit. Fleming brings something very specific and very valuable to the table. Versatility. In his 80 major league appearances over his career, he has started 25 games. He's the absolute definition of a modern swingman, a guy who can give you a legitimate spot start when your rotation is banged up and guys are on the injured list, or he can eat up 3 or 4 crucial innings in relief when a game goes into extra innings and you need length from your bullpen. Let's dig deeper into Fleming's professional journey because it actually tells us an enormous amount about his resilience and mental toughness. After his stint with the Tampa Bay Rays, where he dealt with significant elbow issues that sidelined him for 60 days back in 2023, he didn't just fade away into retirement or independent league obscurity. He kept grinding. He signed with the Philadelphia Phillies, then the Pittsburgh Pirates, and finally the Seattle Mariners organization. Last year, he was working in AAA Tacoma, which for those who don't know, plays in the Pacific Coast League. Now here's something crucial to understand about AAA and especially the Pacific Coast League. It is notoriously a hitter's absolute paradise. The air is thin at elevation, the ball absolutely flies out of parks, and pitchers go there to see their eras explode. Scouts will tell you that Pacific Coast League numbers need significant context because the offensive environment is so drastically different from the major leagues. Yet, Fleming posted a 4.91 ERA over 84 innings pitched. Is that elite? Absolutely not, let's be honest. But it shows something incredibly valuable. Durability. The man kept taking the ball. He was working primarily as a bulk reliever, a role that is becoming increasingly vital in modern baseball strategy. The opener strategy that was popularized by his former team, the Tampa Bay Rays, relies incredibly heavily on guys exactly like Josh Fleming. Pitchers who can come in and give you 4 or 5 quality innings after your opener faces the lineup once through. By bringing Fleming into the organization, the Blue Jays aren't just adding another arm to throw bullpen sessions. They are adding genuine tactical flexibility to how they can structure games. General Manager Ross Atkins is essentially buying an insurance policy for the entire pitching staff. If a starter goes down with injury in May, and injuries always happen over 162 games, do you want to rush a top prospect who clearly isn't ready for major league competition, or do you want a proven veteran who has faced Aaron Judge and Rafael Devers and survived? Now let's get into the serious analytical breakdown and project what this actually means for the 2026 roster construction. Why Josh Fleming? Why right now? The answer lies deep in the underlying data and organizational needs. Fleming is absolutely not a strikeout artist. If you're expecting him to come in and blow 99-mile-per-hour fastballs past elite hitters, you are going to be massively disappointed. His strikeout rate in AAA last season was only 4.7 per 9 innings, which is incredibly low by modern baseball standards where strikeouts are celebrated and rewarded. However, Josh Fleming possesses an actual superpower that matters enormously in certain contexts. Ground balls. Throughout his entire professional career, he has induced ground balls at a rate of over 58%. In Rogers Center, which can play like an absolute launch pad when the roof is open and the ball is flying, keeping the ball on the ground is literal survival. He limits hard contact when he's executing his game plan. Batters are beating the ball into the dirt, leading to easy double play opportunities that get you out of jams. This signing creates an absolutely fascinating competition dynamic in the bullpen heading into spring training. Fleming joins a suddenly crowded room of left-handed pitching options including Brendan Little, Eric Lauer, Mason Fluharty, Hayden Jewinger, and others fighting for limited roster spots. This is going to be an absolute dogfight in spring training in Dunedin. The impact on roster construction is actually massive when you think about the 40-man roster implications. If Fleming makes the team out of spring training, he likely takes that crucial long relief spot that every team desperately needs. But what if he doesn't make the opening day roster? Because it's a minor league deal with a spring training invitation, he provides organizational depth in Buffalo without immediately clogging up the precious 40-man roster space. It's essentially a zero-risk move for the front office. But let's play out the realistic scenarios because that's what smart analysis requires. Best case scenario, the Blue Jays' renowned pitching development lab, led by the legendary Pete Walker, tweaks Fleming's grip slightly, adjusts his arm angle, and he rediscovers his 2020 form when he was actually quite effective. He becomes a reliable 3.50 ERA guy who saves the bullpen from complete burnout during the dog days of summer. Worst case scenario, he gets absolutely shelled in spring training exhibitions and gets cut before opening day. The financial impact is completely negligible because it's a minor league deal. The voice of the fanbase is absolutely split right now on moves like this. Half of you are probably screaming that the team needs legitimate aces and impact players, not reclamation projects and organizational depth pieces. Meanwhile, the analytical side of the fanbase sees an incredibly savvy depth move that costs nothing but could provide significant value. And here's the truth. Both sides are completely right. You absolutely need superstar talent to win championships. But you also need guys exactly like Josh Fleming to survive the brutal 162-game regular season marathon where injuries and fatigue are inevitable. So where does this ultimately leave the Toronto Blue Jays as we head into spring training? The organization is clearly not done tinkering with the roster. The signing of Josh Fleming is a clear signal that the front office is prioritizing floor over ceiling in certain areas. Right now, they want to ensure that when injuries inevitably happen, and they always do in baseball, the team doesn't completely collapse. Fleming represents a safety net. He's a ground ball specialist who brings veteran experience and intimate American League East knowledge to a pitching staff that desperately needs stability and depth. He's a puzzle piece, not the whole picture. But sometimes in baseball, the smallest pieces are the ones that hold everything together when the pressure is highest. As we head into spring training in just a few weeks, keep your eyes on the number of ground balls Fleming induces in live game situations. Watch closely how he handles inherited runners on base, which is the true test of any relief pitcher. That will tell you everything you need to know about whether this move has legitimate impact potential. We are building a team that needs to be resilient above all else, and adding a guy who has fought and clawed for every single inning of his professional career fits that organizational mold perfectly. Now I absolutely want to hear from you in the comments section. Is Josh Fleming the hidden gem that the bullpen desperately needs? Or is this just another band-aid on a much bigger systemic problem with pitching depth? Do you trust the Blue Jays' ability to fix and develop veteran pitchers who struggled elsewhere? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below. Let's get a real debate going because that's what makes this community special. Don't forget to smash that like button if you want more deep dive analysis exactly like this that goes beyond the surface level headlines. And make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you never miss a single breaking update on the Toronto Blue Jays as we march toward opening day. We'll see you in the next video.